My father was an evangelist in the Patagonia in Argentina. And some of you have heard this story before, but some of you haven't, so I have to tell it to you to start the topic this morning. When I was 4 years old, I couldn't bike because my legs were too short. So my mother announced in that little town in La Pampa in Patagonia that she was going to get a bicycle for us to go to the wheat fields, which are beautiful in the Patagonia. And I was so excited. And the day arrived and she made a little seat for me in the back of the bicycle. And we went into a beautiful day trip. But then when we were several kilometers far from town, the little path got rough, had some holes in it. So the bike started going like this. And my mother said, be careful, straighten up. And I did straighten up. And something horrible happened. I started crying. She stopped the bike in the middle of the wheat fields. And she said, what's wrong? And I couldn't talk. I was in such pain that I couldn't talk. And I kept pointing to my feet. And she stopped the bike and took one of my socks. And when she took the sock off, half of my foot came out with it. Oh. And stop looking at my feet, I'll tell you what happened. So, what happened was, because she told me to straighten up, I put my little foot inside the ongoing wheel of the bike. And it chopped, literally chopped half of my foot. I remember looking at my foot and seeing the white bone where my foot used to be. With a strength that I'm sure came from above, she put me on the main seat of the bicycle and grabbed the bicycle and ran with divine strength, I'm sure. She ran all the way to town, all those kilometers. There wasn't any hospital there. There was only an urgent care, and they took an x-ray, and the bone itself was not broken. It's just that the flesh of the foot wasn't there anymore. It took me 6 months to walk again. And now you can look at my feet, okay? Here we go. I only have a tiny little scar of that day because I was so young that the whole foot rebuilt itself, so I have normal feet. But I have this one little scar that reminds me of the day I always say that my mother gave me life for a second time. What happens when you are in a crisis that is so great that you need to put your trust in someone? Last night we talked about rise up and accept His grace. We said we're doing the ABCs, so accept was the A last night. This morning we're doing rise up and believe. Believe in Him, in the person of Jesus Christ. So we're starting with a video this morning that takes all the stories of the Bible and shows that they were actually pointing to the person of Jesus, because the Bible is not a series of disconnected stories. It's one main story about one main character, and His name is Jesus. And if we came to believe what He has done, we would no longer fear the end, or fear the end of times, or fear the judgment. So I have asked the Holy Spirit to come down this morning so that when we leave this place, we will believe that Jesus did what He says He has done, so that we can face the future and the second coming without fear, but with joy and gratitude for what He has done. Amen.